Hey, what's up, guys? This is Team Hard Life Captain Albert Zertuche, and I'm again out here at the Lighthouse Pier in Port Lavaca. I am trying out new fishing spots that have been proven to catch some big fish, and also to be able to, expand my horizons. A lot of places that are great fishing spots that aren't really fished by a lot of fishermen because of the distance you got to travel to get to them, and especially for me, I'm having to drive almost an hour and 45 minutes to get to this location, which is a really long drive, especially when you're trying to do it during the week after you get out of work and everything else. And today I was actually able to break away an extra hour early to get out there, and let's see how this works out, what I can catch on video to get y'all more knowledge and or on catches.
Gotta bite. I got a lot of stress on my mind. It's a nice day to go. Yeah, I gotta learn. I'ma call the whole team.
One of the things that I gotta keep reminding myself too is to do that practice cast of wetting the line, so that way I can get some kind of salt water onto the braided line, so that way when I do decide to put a lot more power into the cast, that I don't burn myself off, because that's a big issue, guys. It's something that all fishermen, when they are fishing with the braid, with open-faced reels only, again, open-faced reels only. You don't have to worry about this if you have a spinning reel. But as the reel turns, the braid begins to separate from the outer layers of the reel, and as it's spinning through, sometimes it'll hit the inner wall of the spool housing. So again, guys, real quick, I'm using Manhattan for bait because I'd already caught a bull red the last time I was here, and I said, you know what, let me go and try some different kind of baits. And like in the last video, I was stating that it was something I was going to be looking into. I definitely wanted to increase my chances. There is a chance, guys, because as I stated in the other video, there's a lot of baits that we use in Corpus that they don't use anywhere else. Like I went up to Galveston in the Dallas area, and I was talking about using sea lice for bait, and they're like, what's that? Like, we never even heard of that. And so when they watch it in the videos, they're like, wow, that is something that no, they don't use, So I was like, okay, well, let me try it out. So again, I'm overlaying the video because right here we were talking about something completely different, but it was still pertinent to the fishing trip here. So I'm going to get the extra info on it, and right there I'm still using my three-way long big black drum leaders. I'm doing these because I know I'm going to be putting a lot more abuse to them, fishing in areas heavier with oysters on the bottom and oyster reefs and stuff like that. So I wanted to ensure that I gave myself the best chance to land the bigger fish. Yes, sir, this is a good example of what I've been trying to teach people, that when they send their bait out and wait, and this is kind of what I was talking about in the channel when I was doing the casting videos with John and everything else. I'm going to pause it right there. Right here I'm doing the Hatteras cast, and as you can tell, as I swing the weight back, I'm in level ground, basically like if I'm on the beach, and I'm sending it far enough back to where the line is almost straight in line with my fishing rod. And this gives me the ability to, as I start to turn, that my rod is instantly loaded, giving me a lot of turn to get my cast to the distance I want to go and head and get it. So this is something that it's gonna take practice, guys. You got to learn to swing it back and have faith that the timing will be set up there. So if it's something that you got to practice a few times, and you notice too, my weight is pretty far down on the fishing rod. It's normally by the reel is when I normally set it up to do a cast like this, and this is kind of tight quarters casting because this pier has these overhead deals that were created for shade, so you got to really watch where you're casting and how you're casting, and that's going to be something to think about too if you do head to this pier. please be aware of your surroundings and other fishermen and their gear and tackle, because it is really tight quarters fishing. So I can understand why not a lot of people fish this pier, because it is cramped quarters. And just a little further explanation of what I'm using 10-foot custom rods. These are Harringtons and Hernandez. There's a lot of companies that are coming out trying to say they're the replica of them, and they're not. They have a totally different style of casting, and you'll understand this if you fish Harringtons and Hernandez long enough. They have a different kind of parabolic bend, but there's a lot better rods on the market, that are heavier duty built specifically for casting, so that way they don't bend as much when you send them back. Right here I'm throwing a 9-ounce weight with my 3-way long big black drum leader, and like I said, guys, I have fished these rods a very long time, and I've got the timing down for them to be able to help me get the kind of distance that I'm looking for wherever I'm fishing. And right here I'm also using 80-pound tight line braid on my LX Raptors. I have 4 rods fishing with me right now that I'm setting up for this fishing trip. And again, guys, like I've got an arsenal of fishing gear that I can use, and depending on where I'm going, it will determine how many rods I can use and or take with me. Again, guys, I like to fish with a lot of rods. I really do. I like being active, casting, checking bait, recasting, and for me, it's something that I've always done. It was the way I learned how to fish when I was younger, from the older cats, that there was no rod limits back then. And so I like casting. I don't like sitting there waiting. I like to be proactive, either throwing a cast net, throwing a bait rod, throwing something to keep on going and go. I was watching this in slow motion, and I saw the tip, and I was like, man, is that my line going out? So I had to slow it down and zoom in a little bit, but I guess it's all the moisture coming off the rod after the cast. Thought that was pretty cool. Alright, guys, not to be conceited or anything, but I do love when I can get a good video of my cast and show everything going out and what's happening, and slow it down and watch it all come together. It is a pretty cool thing for me. Like I said, guys, with everybody on the channel watching the videos and being proactive with the comments and stuff like that, y'all keep me going when everything else in the world is falling apart, and or I just feel like I'm getting beat up left and right. I can watch or pull up the YouTube channel and see everybody's comments, and seeing everybody being proactive with their questions and or knowledge, and or sharing their videos too. A lot of guys have videos that they send us to email, so I will be working on those very soon, guys. I am looking at doing our 25,000 subscriber mark giveaway, so I'm gonna start doing videos of me pulling up all their screenshots of them sharing the channel, of both ours, mine here at Team Hard Life, and also Jacked Up Leatherworks.
dragging all the way.
No, it's not dragging. The line, the weight of the line.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody took it. Come up with it. Pressure on the hook.
Tension.
Got it on the surface.
Right there behind you.
Alright, so as you saw in the fight portion, that red ended up running into my other line and got it pretty tangled up and stuff like that. So I'm sitting there trying to get it all undone so I can get the hook out. Finally got it out, and I'm going to go ahead and release him back in. I know he's a little worn, so I'm going to release him with the net just to make sure he swims off. So I'll go ahead and see how this works out for me real quick. Swam out of the net. Show y'all what's going on, guys. Oh, looks like it's still spotted. It's right over there. See the white shadow going that way. Yeah, I was a little concerned there. See, all that BS about non-offset circle hooks, don't get fish gut hook. Prime example right there, and I was able to get the hook out and release the fish. But whoever thinks that is, I've seen it too many times, and I should have gotten y'all and showed y'all the inside of the mouth, but it was hooked in the stomach. And supposedly they're never supposed to do that. Prime example, and I didn't even let it run either. Had to do a little venting right there, guys, because this has been a hot topic with me for multiple years. Ever since they changed it with shark fishing, that they wanted everybody to be using non-offset, non-stainless steel hooks for shark fishing. This is something, you know, I've been using those style of hooks for a long time for different styles of fishing that I have done in my career. And I've seen them. I've seen them too many times, you know, gut hook a fish, you know, whether it be trout, black drum, redfish. I've seen it with all kinds of fish. I mean, shark especially. And, you know, they say, well, you're not supposed to let them run. Well, it shouldn't matter. One of their biggest things was saying that when you allow the circle hook to go in there, it's supposed to be designed to where it comes back out of the stomach and gets hooked in the corner of the jaw. That was one of the deals that I saw many, many years ago, and I was like, man, that'd be pretty cool. So I started using them, and that's when I started seeing it a long time ago that it does that. So Like I said, guys, I'm not a believer in that the circle hooks will only get hooked in the corner of the mouth. I've catch them time and time again, and again, I should have showed y'all a close-up view of the redfish getting hooked in the stomach. So I'm just glad I was able to get it out, so that way it didn't lock up the internal organs of that redfish, and got it safely released back into the water. So.
Where's your phone at? This is the Vala, number 95. This is the 13 Momo Citizen Ground Pyramid. We're on.
Nice one, bro.
Solid.
That's a solid one. Let me grab the... Oh yeah, great catch, bro. Yeah. That was nice. Good job, bro.
I caught something tonight.
Yeah. Finish?
Yeah.